Hello, welcome back to the channel where we are discussing the Understanding Construction Drawings textbook. So this video is about Unit 22, and that is Common Rafters. So in this unit, you'll find some information about roof construction on drawings. Then we'll see how to calculate the length of common rafters and the length of rafter tails when overhang is given. So although roof trusses have become the most widely used method for framing roofs of flat frame buildings, such as homes, carpenters will very often be called on to lay out the use and use common rafters. Although the length of a rafter can be found with the construction calculator, calculators are not always available on the job site. And you are encouraged to learn to use the rafter tables on the framing square. So please refer back to the textbook. There are some calculations shown, so that's way easier to see on the paper than just listen to that in the video. And I highly recommend just to back up all my videos with the textbook just because there's so much graphical information. So let's talk about the roof construction. In a common frame roof, the rafters, ridge board, and collar ties are the structural members. They are sized and spaced to support the weight of the roof itself, plus any snow or wind that can be expected. The protection from weather is provided by sheathing or roof decking and roofing material. So you can see that there are some drawings here, so please refer back to the textbook. The size and spacing of the rafters vary depending on their length, pitch, and load, and they are specified in tables R802.5.1 1 through R802.5.18. So, and that's the IRC or International Residential Code. And if the rafters span a great distance or are spaced far apart, they must be deep to support their load. The size and spacing of the rafters are shown usually on the section view, and the ridge board is also usually shown on the section view. The ridge board should be made of stock 2 inches deep than the rafters, and the greater depth is needed because an angled cut across the rafters is longer than a square cut across the rafters, which is logical. So please take a look again at the sections here. And also, when the roof framing is complicated, a separate roof framing plan may be included if it's like a larger building or if it's a commercial construction. So roof framing plans are used only to show the general arrangement of the framing. And unless specific dimensions are included, framing plans should not be relied upon for the length of the framing members. The roof frame may also include collar ties, and they're usually made of 1-inch nominal thickness lumber. They are normally included on every second or third pair of rafters, and this information should be shown on the roof section if collar ties are planned. The slope of the roof may be shown on any section view that shows the rafter size, and the slope is usually also shown on the building elevations. So we are moving to the roof covering. The most common roof decking material for houses are plywood and OSB or oriented strand board. However, in post and beam construction, where the extra strength is needed to span the distance between the rafters, dimensional lumber is used for the roof deck. The material used to provide weather protection is often chosen for its architectural style. And also the asphalt roofing materials, including felt and shingles, are sold by their weight per 100 square feet of coverage. So 100 square feet of roof is called a square. And if enough shingles to cover 1 square weigh, for example, 230 pounds, 235 pounds, they are called 235-pound shingles. Asphalt saturated felt underlayment is typically 15-pound or 30-pound weight. Again, there are green notes here in the textbook, so please refer to them. They show us how to make the construction more sustainable. And here we see that raised heel rafters and trusses can be used to make more room for insulation and proper ventilation at the edge of the roof. And in raised heel rafter construction, the ceiling joist rests on the top plate with the joist header capping their ends. A separate plate is nailed on top of the joist and header, so the bird's mouth of the rafters rests on this upper plate. In this way, the full depth of the joist is available for installation right up to the edge of the roof, so which is good, and that's going to be more efficient in the grand scheme. So when we need to find the length of common rafters, uh, we use the tables that are available in handbooks, or they are printed on the face of a framing square. So to find the length of a common rafter, you must know the run of the rafter and its rise per foot of run. So, and this is how you can do that. So it takes a little practice, but that's not that complicated. So you can see that again in the textbook. There is a drawing showing that. The run can be found on the floor plan of the building. The riser per foot of run is shown on the building's elevations. And the length of the common rafter is then found by following these steps. So find the number of inches per rise, of rise per foot of run at the top of the table. And then these numbers are the regular graduations on the square. Then step 2 is under this number, find the length of the rafter per foot of run, and space between the numbers indicates a decimal point. And step 3, multiply the length of the common rafter per foot of run, the number found in step 2 that we just described, and by the number of feet of run. And the last step, the final step, is the addition of the length of the tail, and then you subtract 1/2 the thickness of the ridge board. The result is the length of the common rafter as measured along the measuring line. Let's talk a little bit about shed roof framing. So where shed rafters butt against a wall or other vertical surface, the drawing should include a detail to show how they are fastened. So that's like the simple roof, and you can see that in the drawings, and then how the insulation is actually attached in the stud cavity there. Let's talk about roof openings for a second. So sometimes it's necessary to frame openings in the roof where chimneys, skylights, or other features require openings through the rafters. Headers and double framing members are used. And this method of framing opening is similar to that used in floor framing. And we discussed that in the previous unit. That was unit 17. So if you would like to learn more, you should go back there and check how that is done. And that was it for unit 22. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in unit 23.